The U.S. economy is in complete disarray. Just today, the Federal Reserve announced they are going to raise the federal funds rate by another 75 basis points. But they also said something that completely got the market spooked, and you should be too. I'm going to address that in today's video. First, understand this. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell stated in the event that the Fed over-tightens that they could simply reverse course and turn on the money printer. Obviously, this is not what the markets wanted to hear, and this is why they were spooked. By turning on the money printer, this is going to put more upward pressure on inflation. And additional inflation is not what the American people want to see at this time. We have already seen our money vanish right in front of our eyes, and it's not something that we want to continue. Now, this is a devastating event. When this happens, not if, but when this happens, this is something that is going to be devastating. But there's also something else that is causing an economic emergency. Again, this is causing our money to vanish right in front of our eyes. Now, it has to do with the major drought that is not just expected to continue, but is already in the process throughout the entire South. But this is mainly causing an issue with the Mississippi River and the Missouri River. The Mississippi River used to be a river that was a massive body of water where barges would transport corn and wheat and soybeans and so much more. But now that body of water can't even handle half of the cargo due to the depth of the water and the width of the river. This is causing a huge concern. Now, I've talked about this before here on this channel. I've talked about it multiple times over the past month. But I've been lucky enough to talk to some farmers as well. And the farmers that I've talked to are telling me that things are not good. These are farmers that actually transport their crops down the Mississippi River. Here's what a few had to say. One farmer said that her family farm is now up for sale as she can't do this anymore. She stated that she had to cancel all of her contracts because the barges couldn't, not wouldn't, they couldn't take her crops and the season's harvest went bad. So she had to cancel. Now she's selling. Another farmer said that the ship rate nearly doubled, which is taking money out of his pocket, and that is causing him and his family extreme hardship. Another farmer told me they have already contracted with an independent trucker to move all their goods. Here's the problem. The issue with this is that this will raise the prices of their products. And in order to raise the prices of their products, obviously they have to accommodate for this change. Well, this means that you and I are going to be paying much more for our groceries very soon. And I know what you're thinking. More than we already have been? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And for those of you that keep on saying, and I see this all the time in the comments, well, it's no big deal to me. I'm a meat and potatoes type of person. Well, guess what? There is soy that is used in some livestock feed. So a shortage of livestock feed could likely result in higher prices for meats very soon. Now, here's what I can tell you. This is a very concerning time because we don't know what the Federal Reserve is going to do, how high they're going to raise rates, and we cannot, as consumers, keep on putting money onto credit cards. We just can't do this. It's going to hurt us not only now, but in the future as well. So, what can we do? Well, here's what I can tell you. And I'll be completely upfront and honest. You have to prepare. I've been telling you guys this for the past almost year, well over 6 months, that we have to prepare for what's coming. We are going to see higher prices for food. And if you want to take your money and put it into real estate and invest it and spend it on the stuff that you actually want to spend it on, well, you have to start now. Because as prices for food continues to go up, we have to buy the things early so we're not paying the higher prices. If you want to make sure that more of your money isn't going to rent. Well, you got to lock in a lease. You got to lock that in, lock in a price, so your landlord doesn't keep raising rates every few months. It's just something you got to do. You got to plan for it. Here's the next thing. How do you plan for higher energy costs? What do we do? Because we are pretty much stuck. Well, here's what I can tell you. The only way to prepare for higher energy costs is to either use less, make more money, or figure out a way to use a lot less energy over the winter. Now, how do you do that? Well, you don't want to freeze, right? So what do? Well, we can buy more blankets. We can get some type of solar, powered into our homes. And that's going to help quite a bit, although it's going to raise your price initially because you got to buy the equipment, but it could help. Here's the other thing. If you are just smart and I'm not saying people out there are dumb, but if you make sure your house is energy efficient, put the little plastic covers over your windows so that any cold air isn't getting in, you lock in the heat, right? Put thicker drapes over your windows. Again, make sure you lock in that heat. This is something that a lot of people just don't do. Carpet is another huge benefit in the winter because it helps absorb the heat, right? Instead of having hardwood floors or tile, which is going to stay pretty cold, make sure you have some carpet. And maybe you don't carpet your entire house. Get some rugs, lay them down. It's going to help, again, hold in and maintain the heat in your home, all right? Again, it's just simple things like that. Because what's so devastating about what is happening right now isn't just the fact that it's harder to get food down the Mississippi River. It's harder to go and get a loan because, well, interest rates are spiking. They're up over 7% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Those are difficult, but what's so devastating about all this is that the American people keep suffering because, again, our money just vanishes. We go to the store with, let's say, something like $100, and you don't get that $100 worth of groceries. No, that's not what you get. It's more like, oh, I got 60% of groceries. That's it. And for you guys that are wondering, hey, did you just rip a $100 bill? It's a fake $100 bill. It's not real. I hope it's not real. No, it's not real. I'd be pretty sad if it was real. But that's what's happening. We don't have that whole $100 bill. We got about 60, maybe 70% of it because of inflation. That's what's so devastating. So, what I can tell you is, I will be here every step of the way. I will fill you in on all the news coming out of the Federal Reserve, the White House, and anybody in between. I will let you know what's going on within our economy. All you got to do is make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss a video.